Yahusha, Joshua 4. And it came to be, when the entire nation had completely passed over the Yarden, that Yahuah spoke to Yahusha, saying, Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, 1 man from every tribe, and command them, saying, Take for yourselves 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Yarden, from the place where the priest's feet stood firm, and you shall bring them with you, and leave them in the camp in which you spend the Lila. And Yahusha called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the children of Yisharal, 1 man from every tribe, and Yahusha said to them, Pass over before the ark of Yahuah, your Elohim, into the midst of the Yarden, and each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Yisharal, so that this shall be a sign in your midst when your children ask in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them that the mayim of the Yarden were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahuah. When it passed over the Yarden, the mayim of the Yarden were cut off, and these stones shall be for a remembrance to the children of Yisharal forever. And the children of Yisharal did so, as Yahusha commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Yarden, as Yahuah had spoken to Yahusha, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Yisharal, and took them over with them to their camp, and laid them down there. Yahusha also set up 12 stones in the midst of the Yarden, in the place where the feet of the priests who bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this yom. And the priests who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Yarden until every matter was finished that Yahuah had commanded Yahusha to speak to the people, according to all that Musha had commanded Yahusha. And the people hastened and passed over. And it came to be, when all the people had completely passed over, that the ark of Yahuah and the priests passed over in the presence of the people. And the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh passed over armed before the children of Yisharal, as Musha had spoken to them. About 40,000 armed ones of the army passed over before Yahuah for battle to the desert plains of Jericho. On that, Yom Yahuah made Yahusha great before the eyes of all Yisharal. And they feared him, as they had feared Musha, all the Yomim of his life. And Yahuah spoke to Yahusha, saying, Command the priests who bear the ark of the witness, and let them come up from the Yarden. And Yahusha commanded the priests, saying, Come up from the Yarden. And it came to be, when the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahuah had come from the midst of the Yarden, and the soles of the priests' feet touched the dry land, that the mayim of the Yarden returned to their place, and flowed over all its banks as before. And the people came up from the Yarden on the 10th yom of the 1st month, and they camped in Gilgal on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Yarden, Yahusha set up in Gilgal. And he said to the children of Yisharal, saying, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What are these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Yisharal passed over this Yarden on dry land. For Yahuah, your Elohim, dried up the mayim of the Yarden before you, until you had passed over, as Yahuah, your Elohim, did, to the Say of Reeds, which he dried up before us until we had passed it over, so that all the peoples of the Eretz shall know the hand of Yahuah, that it is strong, so that you shall fear Yahuah your Elohim forever.